Why young people in China are turning down factory jobs. For the previous generation, factory work was a blessing. It was a lifeline out of rural poverty. For millions of younger Chinese, factory work is a curse. The low pay, the long hours, and the risk of injuries are not worth it. The trend is contributing to a deepening labor shortage. Rising inflation is curbing demand in China's key export markets. More than 80% of Chinese manufacturers face labor shortages. They range from 10% to 30% of their workforce. A shortage of 30 million manufacturing workers is expected by 2025. On paper, labor is in no short supply. Roughly 18% of Chinese, aged 16 to 24, are unemployed. In 2022 alone, 10.8 million graduates enter the job market. But China's economy faces its slowest growth in decades. It was hit by COVID-19 restrictions and a property market downturn. There are also regulatory crackdowns on tech and other private industries. With China's aging population, the workforce is predicted to shrink rapidly. It may be reduced by 100 million every 15 years from 2020. This is frustrating for the manufacturers. They see Chinese millennials as a lazy, coddled generation. Factory bosses say they could produce more with a younger workforce. But younger people want higher wages and better conditions. The bosses are reluctant to meet their demands. They are afraid of eroding their competitive advantage. Chinese policymakers have emphasized automation as a solution. It would mean hiring fewer workers. However, smaller manufacturers can't afford such large investments. What's more, older workers find it hard to operate new technology. Another way to deal with the problem is outsourcing. Chinese companies send products to factories in Vietnam and Cambodia. This allows them to cut labor costs. China produces a third of the goods consumed globally. Its export-oriented manufacturing sector has been built on low labor cost. The economic growth improved living standards, but it also changed job expectations. The young reject the daily grind their parents endured. Most factory workers earn about $400 per month. Shifts may last 13 hours, even with standing jobs. Many factories are self-sustained towns. The workers eat at factory canteens. They live in tiny rooms in adjacent buildings. They hardly ever leave their blocks. Factory jobs aren't just unsatisfying, they're also dangerous. China is infamous for its poor working conditions. There has been a spate of industrial accidents in recent years. On November 21, 2022, a factory fire killed 38 people. Apparently, it was caused by violations of electrical welding protocols. In 2015, there was a series of explosions at a chemical warehouse. At least 173 people died. No wonder young people tend to stay away from such jobs. Do manufacturers expect too much? Or are young people becoming lazy? Economists say market forces will force both to curb their aspirations.